situation like that sometime in the future.
Ken, I really appreciate you bringing up that topic. First and foremost, my thoughts and prayers go out to the families of those 13 heroes and warriors who have courageously served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice. So that's up there. Definitely an emotionally complicated scenario right now. As far as, I think as a combat veteran, you remove yourself first and foremost because you always have that servant mind in you. So you think about the people who are most impacted, and that's the Gold Star families they leave behind. So making sure that those families have the support systems in place and receive the support, not just now, but in the months to come, the years to come, and just be there for them and be a good, be a good steward for the needs that will naturally arise to those families. As far as how you lead and coach and mentor through that time, the core mission of West Point is to develop leaders of character. And service is a very big part of what we teach and what we do and how we operate at West Point, and certainly in this program. So, we get to talk about the real life scenarios daily here at West Point, why football matters here at Army, why football matters at West Point, and why football will continue to matter into their future. Is they're developing soft skills that you can't just teach in a controlled academic setting. It's the training that they do in the summers, the vignettes that they go through here as cadets through their military training. But we look at football as an extension of that education. So when there's those valleys and those times seem very trying and difficult, we rally behind those because those are great lessons and mechanisms to understand what service looks like and how to best prepare and equip them with those skills, those technical skills as leaders that, to understand the contemporary environment they could be walking into, within a year or two. So, our guys are extremely professional, extremely mature. We talk about current events every day. It's part of our life. It's part of what we're designed to do here, is to be aware of the pulse of our country and the pulse of our military. And we just look at that as we're one with our military. So that's certainly something we lean forward in and have some very, very intimate discussions about, but look at it as leaders and professionals and how to best understand and navigate the path forward.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you, Ken.
Mike, if you could just follow up on Kenny's question, can you just share some your thoughts on serving in Afghanistan? How tough was it? Just give us a taste of what it's like to be a soldier over there.
Certainly we know what 20 years of combat has looked like. It's been pretty well documented in our country. As a platoon leader, leading a rifle platoon in the Arghandab River Valley, where really the Kandahar province and the Arghandab, that's the birthplace of the Taliban. And my thoughts are immediately back to the brave men and women I served with, and just the checkups on them, because that service, it's such a significant emotional time in your life. It's timeless, right? It feels like it happened yesterday because those emotions are so strong. So, your pride certainly comes into it, your loyalty, just the Army values as a whole. You learn about them, but then to live that ethos and that fabric for in combat gives you an immense sense of pride. And thinking back on my time in Afghanistan, to me, it's the most honorable year plus of my life, and not so much because of what we've done or what units do over there, but it's protecting a way of life here, obviously domestically. It's serving those and protecting those who can't necessarily protect themselves, and being extremely professional and exercising a lot of class on the back end to understand part of your duty continues as a civilian or further along in your life to mentor future leaders and cultivate it the right way, and not let it just be lost and to be stories, or to put it anywhere else but what it is. So I don't know if that directly answers your question, but those are my initial thoughts when I think about my time of service in Afghanistan and what it means to me and what it will always mean to me.
Sure. Did anybody check up on you? How are you doing with this news? I mean, it's got to bring back thoughts, emotions.
Yeah, just guys of brothers in arms, classmates, guys who I played with and served with. And I'll share a quick story because I think this paints a beautiful picture about how mature and how professional our guys are. We had a cookout last night with all the guys, dinner with the whole offense of unit. And Tyler came over to me and he goes, "Coach, you got a minute to talk here in a couple minutes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, TT, what's up?" So he grabs me and he goes, just looks me in the eye and asks me, he goes, "Coach, how are you doing?" And I said, I'm good. What's up?" He's like, "No, with everything going on, I'm sure it stirs up a lot of emotion and just thoughts. I don't know exactly what that might look like. I'm unsure and I'm a little nervous to kind of even approach it with you, but how are you doing?" And, just the maturity, the foresight, the awareness to ask, one of your coaches and to think that way, just to me is what makes Army football second to none. And that, I looked at it reverse to him that, hey, I'm, want you to be okay. And, the earlier question we're asking, how we teach them lessons and usher them through a process, shepherd them through a process. And here are quarterbacks, pulling me aside and doing that checkup. So, yes, to answer your question, yes. And that's a story that just hit me. And, that just speaks to volumes to the types of men we bring into this program and leaders that we're going to send out to our Army.
All right, last one, guys. Any others?
Mike, you mentioned the Gold Star families. How much are you still involved with Legacies Alive, and how much do you stay in contact with, that journey that you were on?
Yeah, so we're still a great nonprofit that we still run to this day. We're actually in the planning phase. We do a Gold Star family reunion at Army Navy every year. So we're actually, with our nonprofit, I'm on that committee, that working group, and we're getting everything in line to celebrate the 20th anniversary of 9/11 with those families. So I'm, very active as a co-founder and a member of the board, former president of the board. So I interact with Gold Star families weekly and still very active with the nonprofit.
Mike, what was the name of that organization again?
Legacies Alive.